Hey guys, Chris here from LuckyGunner.com. I've been traveling this week, so I haven't had a chance to sit down and edit the next big installment of our pocket pistol series. So instead of leaving you guys with nothing this week, I thought I would come out here to the range and show you a quick drill that I came up with. This is a pocket pistol specific drill. You can shoot it with any handgun, but I've kind of designed it with a small compact handgun with a limited round count in mind. And what we're going to be working on is the Drawstroke. And it's really going to help if you have an understanding of the 4-count Drawstroke. I've got a video I did on that a couple of years ago. I'll leave a link to that if you want to watch it and refresh your memory. But just real quick, basically 4 steps. Clear the cover garment and grab the gun. That's 1. Bring the gun up here. That's 2. Bring the hands together. 3. Press out and fire. That's 4. That's for an appendix carry draw, but it's pretty much the same thing whether you're carrying in a pocket or behind the hip. Behind the hip, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, and you can imagine pretty much the same thing for pocket carry. The idea here is to get repetitions with the Drawstroke and to break it down into pieces so that we can smooth out any kinks and maybe make it a little faster. This isn't a real flashy drill, it's not real sexy to watch or anything, but this is the kind of thing that we need to do at the range to build repetitions and build that muscle memory, for lack of a better term, in order to make the draw as smooth and as fast as we can make it. All you're really going to need for targets are 3 3x5 index cards. You can put them on a target backer pretty much anywhere. Just make sure they're oriented horizontally and that there's a good amount of space in between them. We're gonna do 10 shots on the first one, 10 on the second one, and 10 on the third one. What we're gonna do on this first one is we're gonna start at the number 3 position of our Drawstroke. So just before we press out, we're gonna start here and we're gonna press out and do 1 perfect shot. And we're gonna do that 5 times in a row. Slow fire, no time limit, just make it as perfect as you can and get a good solid hit right in the center of that index card. Now, if you hit it with all 5 of those first shots, if you don't have any outside the index card, for the next 5, we're gonna do it again, but we're gonna add a time limit. And on this card, it's gonna be 1 second. And that's just kind of based on what I've been able to do out here, what's on the margin of difficult for me. So 1 second on this first card. If you do miss any, the next 5 shots, you're gonna do it again, but with no time limit. So 10 shots, slow fire right into the center, so you can make those shots as perfect as possible. On the second card, it's gonna be the same thing, but except instead of starting here at 3, we're gonna start at number 1 position of the Drawstroke. So cover garment's out of the way, hand is on the gun already. So it'll be starting from here, draw, fire 1 good shot, then go back into the holster and do it again. Draw, fire 1 good shot. 5 times right into this center of this index card. If you get all 5 of those in, we're gonna do it again with a time limit. The time limit here is gonna be 1.5 seconds. All right, so, and again, if you miss one of them, you'll do 5 more with no time limit. And then for the last one here, we're gonna do the full Drawstroke, just starting in the holster, clear the cover garment all the way out and fire perfect shot 5 times right here. If you get all 5 of them in here, we'll do it again with a time limit. Time limit for this one's gonna be 2 seconds. All right, so 1 second, 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds here. That's gonna be fairly challenging, but not outside of the realm of reason, depending on what kind of pocket pistol you're using and what kind of method of carry you're using. If you need to adjust those par times based on your skill level, feel free to do that. If you're carrying in a pocket, you're pretty much gonna need to add at least a half a second to that because pocket draw is just inherently slower. Otherwise, I would suggest push the limit. Don't give yourself something that's gonna be too easy. Make it difficult. Okay, I'm gonna demo that and hopefully that'll clear up anything that didn't make sense. In honor of our upcoming video on 32 caliber revolvers, I'm gonna be using a Smith & Wesson Model 332 chambered in 32 H&R Magnum. Today I'm actually using it with 32 long ammo because that's what I had in the ammo box. So I'm gonna demo that and hopefully it'll make sense. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, I'm at 5 yards. That's where I'd suggest shooting this drill. Again, if you're more of a novice shooter, you might wanna bring it into 3 yards, but I think 5 yards is reasonably challenging enough. Okay, first 5 shots are gonna be from number 3 position. I'm just gonna slow fire 5 rounds. All right, let's take a look at the target. Looks like I got all 5 of them in there, a little over to the left, but nice little group. I'm pretty happy with that. So now I'm gonna do it again, but I'm gonna add the timer and see if I can get it under that 1 second time limit. 5 more with the timer. All right, that's 5. So I only made the 1 second time limit on one. I was really close on the rest of them. Let's look at the target. Missed one. This was number 4. So this is telling me that a 1 second par time is pretty good for me. This is where I need to be practicing, because it's not something I can do perfectly every time. I'm not hitting that time limit every time, but it's challenging enough to give me something to work on. Okay, we're gonna do our second 10. I'm gonna start hand on the gun, my support hand in the center line. In this case, I've got my hand on my cover garment. If you're doing behind the hip, you'll just have your hand right here on your chest. All right, so starting here, 5 shots, slow fire. All right, so I threw 2 shots low there. I was probably overthinking my trigger press a little bit. If I was doing this drill for real, I would do 5 more shots slow fire, but just for the purposes of the demo, I'm gonna do 5 more on the clock. So I got all 5 of them under the 1.5 second time limit, but that might have been a little too fast. I should have been a little more careful on that trigger press, because I missed, looks like 2 more. 1 almost missed, but it's just barely in there. I'll give that to myself. So 2 out of 5 misses. That's probably one that I need to practice a little more. All right, so the last 10 shots, I'm gonna do the full draw stroke. And this might be a little tricky for me, because I basically got 2 cover garments to deal with, and it's real easy to get tied up in that when you're doing an appendix draw. Well, let's see what happens. 5 shots slow fire. Okay, looks like I got all 5 in here. It's not as clean as that first 5 I had on the first card, but I'm happy with this. So now I'm gonna do it with the time limit. Woo, that was bad. So I didn't hit my 2 second time limit, but I still missed a couple of them. My first shot, I had a really bad grip on the gun, so I ended up with a funky trigger press and pulled one way down here. Second shot, it still was rushing a little bit. Then I decided to just take my time and do what I need to do in order to get a good hit, which resulted in better hits, but I was a little slow on the clock. So I probably need to work on clearing my garment a little more quickly. That might be where I'm losing some time there, but this is a good place for me to be. It's a good challenging time limit. If you need to change the par times again, feel free to do that. Give this drill a shot and let me know how it works out for you.